What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be shooting around 90 yards. We're going to see if I hit the target. I just threw a new sight tape on, so we're going to see how this goes. Let's go check it out. So anyway, this is kind of the shot we're looking at. I'm out back there on the porch. Target's down here, so we're gonna see where we hit. Didn't sound too great, but I think I hit high. Yeah, I hit a little bit to the left, but we'll go for it and try it again. That didn't look too great either. You guys, I'm also trying out this new UV button. I shot it at 3D Nationals for S3DA. I liked it pretty well. I scored a 197 both times I ran through the 3D course, so I guess I can give myself being consistent. That's about it. Wasn't the greatest score or anything, but yeah, I think I'm low again. Low left. Right about where I was last time. Yep. Right about exactly where I was the other time. So also kind of in this video, I wanted to do not really tips, but little tricks that help me get like the most yardage that I can, because I know a bunch of guys who can't even get past 80, and that used to be me until I started tweaking with my bow and stuff like that. And it may not work for you, but it worked for me pretty well. Just shoot with whatever you shoot best with. But I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, we're back. I'm going to show you a couple tricks that I use, and some of them will be stupid simple that you guys already know, but kinda my peep sight. I move my peep sight a little bit higher to where I have to kind of say the strings right here. My peep sights. If I'm anchored normally, my peep sight's probably like right here, like eyebrow level. So I have to put my face up a little bit. That gives me a little bit more range. Second thing I do is run my sight all the way in. That kind of everybody knows pretty much, but I run my sight as far in as I can. And then I actually take the sight housing and move it all the way down. And that may not work for you guys, but it worked for me pretty well. One thing also helps is I'm shooting 73 pounds at 29¼ inches. So for drawing 29¼ that also helps. So if you want to shoot real long range, just find a workout plan that will help you increase your draw weight and stuff like that. That'll really help you get quite a bit more range. And yeah, that's about all I have. We're gonna shoot one last arrow, and then see where that goes. And then I also run a little bit bigger of a peep sight. I think this is a 3/16. I think it's a little bit big for my sight, but that's just so when I get out to like the 100 yards, I can kind of move my peep sight up, like, or my housing around in my peep sight to get myself a couple extra yards. But we'll go down and look at this last arrow. Also, tell me what you guys think of my bow setup this year. It's a Alpha X33 pink phantom strings, a red line single pin sight, a MX2 Hoyt Ultra Rest, a Raptor peep, a UV button. I've got the Go sticks. I've got a Bowfinger 15-inch on, and then a hot rods. I just haven't had time to get it. I'm shooting 73 pounds, 29.25-inch draw length. Shooting around with the strings I had before when they weren't stretched, about 311 feet per second with a 430 grain arrow. Yeah, 430 grain arrow. Let me know what you guys think. And this is the last arrow, right exactly where my other ones were, low left. So I think we'll adjust my sight and then call it good, and then I'll shoot tomorrow and we'll see what happens. So next, I think I'm going to be going over just beginner stuff. So if you're a beginner and you're watching this and you're like, I want to learn how to draw properly or anchor properly or any of that stuff, this is going to be the thing for you. The first thing I'm going to start with is the underhand draw, or underarm draw. I actually don't think I can get my bow back, but one thing you never want to do is draw your bow like this and then come back and anchor. First of all, that's a lot of movement. So if you're hunting a deer and you come down and scrape your weatherproof jacket, you know how they're kind of scratchy, you scratch that, then you come in to anchor, it's a lot of movement. Another thing is it will tear up your shoulder. I was doing it for so long, and honestly, if you are doing it, back out your poundage probably 5-10 pounds and then start drawing correctly. Do it for a couple weeks. You can put like a quarter turn in probably every week or 2 times a week or something. You will get back up to your normal poundage in no time. Like probably a couple months ago, all I could do is 50 pounds because that drawing really hurt my really hurt my shoulder, and all I could do is like 55-ish pounds a couple months ago. And then my uncle Ridge, he showed me how to, you know, kind of engage both my lats, put my arm out, keep my elbow up, and pull straight back, and then come into anchor, which really helped me, and it's helped my shoulder a lot. I was having a bunch of shoulder pain, so I speak from experience with that. And so yeah, the next thing is going to be coming to anchor. So I've seen a lot of guys at some of the 3D tournaments I've been to, like, come back and they're afraid of the face pressure, so they come up here, they kind of don't touch a string and just look through a peep sight, which will cause major inconsistencies and you won't be as accurate. And I get it, everywhere you're hearing face pressure, face pressure, face pressure, don't do it. That could cause inconsistencies. Honestly, I'd rather be mashing my face against the string a little bit, like not to the extreme, but a little bit, or rather than not coming to anchor, because you're never going to have a consistent spot. So what I do is kind of barely, like, put my shooting hand up to my jawbone and then barely touch my nose right there. barely touch my nose. Oh. And then I think the last thing that I really want to go over would be, well, I guess no, I have a little bit more to go over. Grip. Do not do the pistol grip. That is like one of the worst things you can do. Because the tighter you're holding this bow, the sooner it goes off. Or well, that's another thing. Probably. So when you're in full draw, I like to, so it's called punching the trigger. When you're in full draw and you just, you know, hammer that trigger, that's another thing you shouldn't do. So basically what I like to do is I like to set it to where it either, full draw, it really sits right there. So where I'm kind of right in there, and then I can just, you'll see the pressure go out of my thumb and it comes white, and then as soon as I start pulling, it goes off. That's called a surprise break. That's one of the most important things for accuracy you can do, is a surprise break. Like when I first started indoor, I was punching the trigger. So that is one of the best things you can do. And then your grip. I was going over the grip. Don't do the pistol grip. Because once if you hammer that trigger, you know it's going off. So your bow hand is automatically gonna tilt this way or that way or jerk, you know, and it will just torque your bow and you won't be consistent. So that's another thing not to do. But what I like to do is, try to get my bow up here, is I like to put my hand like this. Really the place you're looking for is the meat right here on your hand, the most meaty part of your hand. Put it right there, and you can kind of put your hand up and put it right there where it feels comfortable. And then I close my two fingers around it and leave these two like this. Maybe I even touch the third, but that's what I touch the third. So that's what I do, and I leave the pinky out. But what that does is you don't know when it's going off. Some people think they'll drop their bow. I thought that for a while. And really, you have enough. If you have a fairly heavy bow, which I do, I have the stubby, I have the ghost sticks, 15-inch out front, and then a 10 in back, or a 10 in back, in the back, and so it's a pretty heavy bow. And the Hoyts are pretty heavy on their own anyways, so the heavier your bow, the less it'll jump out of your hand. And it really just depends on the bow. The Matthews are super light and they still don't jump out of your hand really. But so that is another thing that I was scared of, is the bow jumping out of my hand and me dropping it, which it did happen. But you can get it's like a wrist strap thing that wraps around your stabilizer, goes around your hand in case you're afraid of that. It'll catch it for you. I gotten used to without it. Another thing is stance. Sorry guys, I'm trying to be fast. It's getting kind of dark out. Another thing is stance. Now, a common misperception, I guess, is just stand straight. Like, don't even just stand straight. That you can do that. I've done that for quite a while, but I like to turn my feet out. Not even that much. You can shoot like this, perfectly consistent. But I like to turn my feet out, and maybe this foot out a little bit. I feel like that just kind of relaxes my spine, I guess, when I'm in this straight motion, and drawing back kind of feels uncomfortable. So for that, it's just comfort for me, really. And I think that's it. I think I've gone over everything I want to. If you guys have any suggestions of things that I should go over, drop it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.